Ladies and gentlemen, so today I wanted to give you guys a rundown of Alliance Quest Map 7. The third day has just currently started, and on days 1 and 2, we got the completion, man. We got it done. We got Kingpin down, and yesterday's run, man, went tremendously well. Like, we had so much time to spare, but today I've got, a little bit of a challenge on my hand personally. There's a reason why I haven't joined yet, and that's because I'm going to be taking out one of the slightly most annoying fights in Map 7, so we're going to talk about that, but just to give you a bit of an overview of the map, because it's mad. It's absolutely mad, the scale of the map. So everybody starts in the center here, and you can see it's been about 45 minutes so far, so kind of people are making their way outward, but there's just kind of like a series of link nodes, man, and the most annoying thing by far in Map 7, and really this attributes to a very, very bad experience overall, is the amount of link nodes, because you can't really do more than, like, it's rare that you can do, like, more than one fight in a lot of scenarios, but in some scenarios you can do like 2 fights, but I don't think there are really many scenarios where you can do more than 2 fights without having to, like, PM somebody, asking them to take down a node. And at certain times, man, this can really hold people up and just be so incredibly annoying, and I just don't think it's fun. I just don't think it, like, adds anything to the game, like, messaging your friend like, hey, can you do this fight, when it's just, like, so frequent. I kind of get, like, link nodes before a boss to take it down, but when it's, like, literally every single fight, you can see, like, here how, like, crazy it is in terms of woven together. It's just so annoying, because, like, line is just a constant thing. And, the 2 nights so far that this has been on has been Saturday and Sunday. And Saturday, man, I was out in Reading with the boys, and it was so bloody annoying having to, like, find, like, a few minutes here and there to, just do, like, occasional fights and stuff. And I almost got wrecked, man. I almost got wrecked in Phase 1 because of this brand new node, which we're going to talk about in a second. But yeah, it's just really annoying. I just, like, when it comes to Alliance Quest, I just want to sit down for, like, 5-10 minutes. I want some time away, especially in, like, social situations and scenarios. Like, it's quite easy to make that time, but when it's, like, a lot of, like, a couple of minutes here and there, just keep checking back on your phone, like messaging somebody, have they replied, have they moved, it's bloody annoying and just, like, cripples social interactions. So if you want, endgame players to have a bit more of a life, just get rid of all these link nodes, man. They're so unnecessary. They're so annoying. So yeah, that's my link node run over and done with, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, aside from that, let's talk about some of the new nodes as well, and also the layout. So anyway, let's start off with the layout. So again, you all start in the middle. There are currently 9 paths in Section 1. I'm currently on backup, so if anybody messes up here, I'm going to come in and save their ass. And then once you've done that, you port to, like, these 2 mini-bosses here. So you've got Unstoppable Colossus and Emma Frost, and the one that you don't fight is basically going to give an attack reduction to the other one, so it makes the other one, like, twice as hard there. But this one actually does have, like, a 15-minute timer, as well as 300% health, so it's a fairly beefy Emma Frost or a fairly beefy Unstoppable Colossus, kind of, pick your own poison there. And then, yeah, once you got both of them down, it's the first Omega Red boss. So the thing that just makes this dude absolutely insane really is the aggression regeneration, man, and the recovery node as well. If you are not fighting this dude very, very aggressively, if you allow him to get more than a couple of stacks, his health is going to absolutely shoot up. And at the end of this video, we're going to attach a almost one-shot with a 6-star rank 1 Sentinel, so you can see what this fight's like. But it's pretty mad, man, and it's, getting harder and harder every single day. But so far, it's not the absolute worst boss in the world. It's just sometimes, if you're having trouble baiting those special attacks, it can really, really screw you over. So that one is, something to potentially look out for there. And then we've got the next section. So I think the next section has a total of 10 paths. So there are, like, 3 here. There's 1 there. There's 1 leading up to the middle as well. This one kind of links, and that's kind of, like, mirrored on the other side as well. And this all feeds into the Omega Red here. And there's kind of an Iron Fist and Emma Frost kind of mini bosses as well. And then moving into the final section, it's like 5 people. Well, it's four people to the left, 4 people to the right, and then 2 people to the middle who need to take, like, both of these islands. So yeah, the final section actually is probably, like, the easiest section. Like, we've just blitzed through it so quickly, man. The final section doesn't seem to present too many problems for us in our roster. It's really like, this very annoying fight in Section 2, which we're going to talk about. I guess it's probably one of the most the best nodes to start on first. So anyway, anyway, to just tell you as well, you have some very enhanced global nodes as well when running maps 7. So the first thing you have is like a weekly Ascendancy. So one class this week it is Science. One class receives plus 40% base attack, but Mystic Champions, the one that have the disadvantage, they receive minus 40% base attack. So once every week, a random class is gimped, which, you know, is not going to be a fun time, unlike Cosmic and Tech weeks for, you know, Omega Red and Mega Red fighters and Corvus players as well, but there's also something to help you out there as well, which is the Counter-Strike node. So using the Dexterity Mastery to dodge an attack gives you a Fury charge, increasing your attack rating by 5% per charge, but at 10 Fury charges, all charges are lost and the defender's attacks are unblockable for 15 seconds. So personally, I can't say that I've seen these charges so far actually trigger, but I have seen the unblockable trigger, and that triggers in the Sentinel kill, which you're going to see at the end of the end of this. So those are the global nodes that you have to deal with on everything, which, you know, are going to help you out in a few scenarios, but do have their drawbacks as well. But anyway, let's talk about some of these new nodes. So we got this one, Diss Track. Oh my goodness, such a fun one. So this new node, the Defender, takes 100% less damage when they have less than 3 debuffs applied to them. These debuffs can be the same of the same type. So this one, you know, combined with a Crossbones, who has the chance to shrug off, which only increases the more debuffs he shrugs off, is not the best time. So I'm bringing in Void for this one, and hopefully it should work out really, really well. I've been told that that is the champion of choice to bring, but yeah, this fight is very, very annoying, and I know some alliances did get trapped at this on the first day, because that Crossbones, man, if you are not prepared for that fight, you're going to get absolutely ruined there. And then, yeah, we just got all sorts of fun stuff. So yeah, I'm taking kind of Path 9 later. Got all this super fun diss track stuff with Hulk, Luke Cage, is a diss track Blade as well. So these are going to be some tremendously fun fights, but I'm hoping Void is going to turn out, you know, all right for that. Especially we got the Science attack boost, so that's a nice little bonus there. But the node on the first day of playing that really screwed me over is this brand new node called Delirium, and I think the worst thing about this node is, like, there's nowhere to practice it at the moment, and essentially what Delirium does is the attacker's dash and dodge controls are inverted in this fight permanently, but robot champions and champions with psychic resistance, so like Magneto, Juggernaut, and also Mr. Sinister, are immune to this effect. So ideally you want to bring champions that are immune to this effect, like Sentinel. I, you know, took this path again and used him for the majority of the fight. But Delirium is really tricky to get used to, man. Really tricky, because your dash and dodge, like, you know, they're such staples, and when they're reversed, you know, it's just very annoying that there's nowhere to kind of, you know, practice it outside of map 7. So that is a bit of a pain in the ass, and I feel like I've called map 7 map 6 a few times in this video. So yeah, gosh, go me, man. Great news there. And then we also have this what is it, brand new node as well, which seems like it's going to be really bad. When you read this one, you're like, oh man, this seems really terrible, but it's really not that bad to do with certain champions. So at 6th sense, the Defender has a 50% chance to auto block all medium and light attacks, and if you bring like Hyperion or Cap Infinity War, or anybody with like a really stacked heavy, or like power gain or ability to, you know, get an insane amount of damage off specials, like this one really isn't a problem. Like Hyperion just absolutely smokes this path, so yeah, he's really good for that. But also there are some later fights that kind of have this node 6th sense, but also the parry node as well, so that does make for a little bit of a nasty combo. We've got, what is it, double immunity there. I think there's some shock stuff as well just here. So yeah, there are also shock paths as well, so you need to bring certain shock immune characters. Like, it's mainly Corvus for the majority of people, but I've seen people, you know, bring in Nebula as well, and I believe she should work for absorbing that, but I think pretty much everybody's been running their Corvus for the most part. And then over this side as well, I think there are some slightly, like, annoying new nodes as well. So there's this one called Power Alternator. So every 15 seconds, if you have more power than the Defender, it's going to drain both of the power and then swap them. So basically, it's going to give the opponent, like, your power. If, like, you're at special 3 and this node hits, man, it's not going to be a good time. You're going to get absolutely wrecked there. But also with Transducer as well, Power Start 2. This one I think could be a little bit nasty, but it's pretty much a full power control lane there. We also have this Caustic Temper node, which seems to be kind of like a bit of a Hyperion Medusa path. So the defender has a 50% chance to inflict poison when struck, dealing 50% of the attacker's max health over 10 seconds. So it's basically a poison node, but if the attacker has no active fury buffs, the defender takes 90% less damage. And this node reoccurs and appears later down the map as well. So Hyperion and Medusa getting a tremendous amount of value there. And then kind of looking across in section 2, what do we have knocking about here as the baseline node? I don't think there's anything too bad there. We just got a bit of tranquility in that path. There are these nodes, what is it? There's the Major League and Minor League one. So it basically means that the defender from large and extra large champions takes a bit more damage, but against small champions deals a lot more damage. So that one is a little bit interesting there as a node, but it's really nothing to worry about, man. I've been taking that path for the last couple of days, but I'm swapping over to the Crossbones one today. In the middle, there looks to be a slightly annoying path. Actually, I haven't spoken to anybody that's fought this one yet, but Lazarus, man, this one seems like a little bit annoying. So the defender begins the fight with 5 revival charges, which heal them for 20% max health whenever they would be knocked out, and every 20 hits on the attacker's combo meter also removes one of these charges. So the opponent has 5 cheat deaths, 20 combo hits will remove one of those, so realistically it's probably only like, you know, 2, 3, but still very annoying, man, especially in combination with the buffet node as well, and immune to what is it, heal reversal there. So that one is a little bit interesting. I don't know if there are ways to negate that with stuff like ability accuracy, but there's again a whole path of it, and also a fairly stacked what is it, Quake and Rogue in the middle, but you also have, you know, 2 people to deal with both of those fights there, kind of moving up to the Omega Red, and then you kind of have the opposite, the Little League one. So this defender, on all these paths, you know, they're fairly big champions here. We've got Dormammu, Hulk Ragnarok, Venom King Groot, so they take more damage against, they take more damage against small and medium champions, and if they're against large champions, they inflict 200% additional damage, so that could be pretty lethal in combination with especially like Dormammu and Hulk Ragnarok there. So, you know, got to be a little bit careful, man, but, you know, you can definitely get around that one. And then on, I think this side, it's just kind of a bog standard like bleed node, nothing too special there. What does this Korg have here? Just a huge amount of additional physical resistance. Omega Red probably cutting through that dude like butter. There's a mighty charge path there, but nothing super bad. And then in the final phase, there is a spiked armor path. I've been what is it, taking this one myself. This one's so easy to do with like a 5-star maxed out Cap Infinity War, because you just spam the heavy and you're pretty much getting no damage, because you know you're not really throwing off that many crits at all, and you're minimizing the amount of hits there. There is also again the Sixth Sense node combined with parry as well, so you'll be very careful, because if you throw a medium or light attack there, you'll get wrecked and auto blocked. But again, like strong heavy attack champions, Cap Infinity War, and just, you know, champions with big heavies are super valuable there. And then what else do we have? We got a fun Starburst, block erosion path for probably somebody with a stacked Gladiator Hulk. There's a biohazard path there. There's also a Slumber Path, which is probably the easiest path of the entire map. Whoever has this path is having an absolute giggle, because it's just such a joke, man, because, you know, the opponent's just stunned for 15 seconds, and if you've got Corvus or just any strong rank 5 character, you can just burst them down, and it's just yeah, very straightforward there. Then we got some more Delirium as well, so dash and dodge controls are permanently inverted for the fight, so that one is a little bit annoying down the bottom there. And then we got a bit of Bane, so not really too bad. Again, that's the opposite side, bit of Infinity Blast as well. And then finally, there's the Strength in Numbers one. This node's a little bit, I don't know, I just don't really like it. I think it's a bit of a boring node. So for each member of the attacker's team that is knocked out, the attacker suffers a 25% attack and ability accuracy reduction. So basically, if all of your team isn't revived, then you get penalized. So that just, you know, it seems a little bit like BS. Like, it's just like, use revives. So, you know, I don't really like that node, man. It's just a bit boring, isn't it? And then we got the final Kingpin as well. We got the actually, there are 2 mini bosses. There is a Dr. Voodoo in a group, both with plus 500% health, who are very easy. They've got like 15-minute timers, man. Really straightforward to deal with. Like nothing special apart from that. And then finally the Kingpin. He is Oscillate to deal with, which isn't too bad. With a combination of explosive personality, it makes this fight a little bit long. But overall, you know, it's nothing like the absolute worst in the world. So overall, like, I think the difficulty of map 7, like, it isn't absolutely crazy. Like, it's fairly manageable. We've managed to smash out again both days so far, but as we, you know, go throughout the week, it's going to get more difficult for every single day that we get done. But overall, I like it, man. I'm just really annoyed. The link nodes, they just suck. They're not a fun time. They don't add to the experience at all. They just make it even more awkward for kind of Marvel Contest of Champions players to actually have social lives outside of the game on stuff like weekends and nights where they want to go out and, you know, have fun and just kind of get their Alliance Quest moves out the way, because, you know, pinging like constant back and forth between you and a few other people for link nodes just isn't really a fun experience. I don't really, you know, hold that in too high regard. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a bit of a look at that Sentinel versus a Mega Red boss fight. Alright, so this is my 6-star rank 1 Sentinel. He's unawakened, but we did have a 30% boost active just for this, because I've just cleared my lane as well. But he did fairly well here. It's a bit of a shaky start, as you can see, because we're getting those analysis charges here. Yeah, I'm not concerned about getting the regeneration at all, because it's just get those analysis charges to 100. But also, you know, this kind of works in my favor, because this is a really beefy Mega Red. He's got like just over 300,000 health. So, you know, you could call it a fluke, you could call it some great tactics, but, you know, we've done a good job at dipping just below 50% for that damage boost there, and we've got 100 analysis, so it's time to actually start doing some damage on Sentinel, and Sentinel is such a great counter for a Mega Red. One of the best things about playing Sentinel in this matchup, as you can see, because he's a robot, you barely ever get the degeneration charges. They apply like 4 times slower, and yeah, it just makes it so good, so that even if, you know, you do get like a special 2, you're not really like getting wrecked from that. What we have here, you can see as well, he's completely unblockable at the moment for everything. That is the dexterity node that you saw earlier. Again, you can't see the Furies in this fight. I don't know if there's some sort of, you know, visual bug or anything with those, but yeah, you have to be very careful, man, because that global node, you know, it can catch you out if you're not paying some very close attention. But you can see here, man, it's going really well. You know, at this point, I'm fairly optimistic. We're on really good track to take him down in good time. Now that we got more control on this fight, I'm throwing out some heavy attacks as well, which, to be fair, I should have been doing a little bit sooner, but, you know, I just come out after a night out, guys, so, you know, I need a little bit of a break on this one. But there we go, special 2, and again, I'm not really too worried about the special 2 on Sentinel, because we take pretty much no damage from that Aura of Degeneration, so it's barely chipped at us, even though we have, you know, baited out 2 full special 2s there. So yeah, I'm looking at his health. I'm like, oh, this is almost too good to be true. This run is going so incredibly well here. We've almost got the one shot, and you're going to see something very bad happen, I think, about now. So I'm trying to bait out a special 2 here. Just leaving myself open. He's not using it, getting stacks of aggression regeneration. He's gone into block. He fires off his special 2. I went in a little bit too early there, so I couldn't stop him. And you see, man, that health just goes up like mad. It's crazy. So yeah, you need to be really careful on this fight, man, because he regenerated for like probably about 100,000 health, if not a little bit more in that interval. So yeah, that was a little bit ridiculous. And also, kind of looking back on this fight, I think one of the things that I would have done a little bit differently with Sentinel is I just don't really feel like the heal block does a huge amount. I feel like you're much better off on Sentinel just going for the special 2, because there is so much damage, man. The special 2 is absolutely mad. So yeah, there we go, man. First try at Mega, not too bad. Then, you know, we've got Mega Red in a fairly good spot here. Just need to play aggressively and get him down. He's pretty much in that Assassin's range as well, which makes him a perfect target for my jacked up Captain America Infinity War. So yeah, a pretty smooth takedown from there on out. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching my initial video discussing Map 7. Hopefully you did enjoy it, and if you did, feel free to smash that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Let me know your thoughts on Map 7 in the comments section below. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.